good morning, and welcome back to a Behind Her Brand Monday Morning Brew. Today, I have something really personal that I actually want to share. And when it came to me to share this, I was thinking, am I sure I really want to talk about this publicly? But I realized, when we talk about behind her brand and what really is behind her brand, it's not always business. It's not always marketing and financials and social media and this and the other. There are real things that take place in how we show up in the world. And so, and what triggered it for me was this cup here. Find your happy place. And as I was drinking some amazing coffee by For the Culture Coffee Company, they're one of our sponsors at our conference. I was just thinking how I got to find my happy place, a place in my life where I really felt that I was showing up fully 1000% as Kim. So often we talk about you got to be real, you got to be authentic, you got to be this, you got to be that. And if you ask yourself, and for many of you guys, you may say, no, I feel like I do. And then for some people, it may be, I'm still not 100% there. But I remember there was a moment in my life that changed my life. I was going through a really big decision, and I knew it was going to affect, my family and everything. And with this decision, I remember one night praying to God, and I said, God, I really want you to heal every broken parts in me. And I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. There was things that he had to work through with me. But I said, but Lord, I want to understand how the broken parts in me are showing up in my day-to-day interactions, in my business. Why do I always feel like I'm two different people sometimes, because I always want to be real. I always want to be great. But at that season, I was about to make a big decision. Business was doing incredible, but I wasn't feeling happy. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I was grateful that I was able to be of service to so many people and helping them build their businesses and all that kind of stuff. But there was still something in me that just kind of felt like, God, something's not here, and I want to feel good in these moments. I want to feel all happy. I want to feel all the different things, and I couldn't understand what was preventing it. So I went on this personal journey, and it led me to a couple of things that I want to share with you. And one of the things I want to share, I pray doesn't trigger anyone or anything of that nature. I just wanted to share just a very small piece, how it kind of led to where I am today. And let me just say this as a kind of an off stance. When you're building and you're growing and you're showing up, we all want to show up obviously as your real selves. And people can always feel when you're real. They can always feel when you're being genuine. They can feel that you really care about them. And they can also feel if they are a transaction, if they're just another client, if they're just another person. People can feel that too, even behind smiles, laughters, and everything. To me, it makes so much more sense to really and truly show up as you are, be who you are. And I know that sounds like such a general cliche, but I found for me personally, and this may not speak to everyone, but I found for me personally, in order for me to do that, I had to heal some things within me. So when I went on this journey with God, and he was showing me some different things. One of the first things he showed me, I asked him, how come I feel like this in some settings, but then behind closed doors, I feel like, man, I don't feel worthy. I don't feel good about myself. And he brought me back to a time in college. And I had the most amazing mentor who just always challenged my mind, challenged how I showed up in the world, just helped me become a better version of who I was. And I remember it was my sophomore year, and I was going for another meeting, standard as I've been doing since my freshman year. And to kind of fast forward through the evening, this particular person violated me. I was sexually assaulted, and it left me stunned. It left me feeling like what the heck just happened? Scared. And at that time in my sophomore year, I was also part of my compensation at the school was that I was running what they call a small house. So I had 50 college kids. And yes, I was a college kid too, but I was a leader in that building. But I was a house manager. So I ran the whole house. I had a small team of 5. And I just went through this really traumatic situation, did not know what to do. This person So it was a mentor. They also were part of, I'm trying to be careful all that I say, part of the leadership of the college. So I knew in that feeling, I felt like David and Goliath. Okay. And then over here, the next morning, I have to go to class and I have to run the building. And it was all girls, at that time they called it dormitory, were calling me because they want to talk and vent and share. Then I have a team that I have to run. And here I am, like crying, scared, not sure what to do. But then I learned the I want to say the necessity, because it's something that ended up staying with me for far too long, of putting on a mask and showing up and putting a smile behind tears, right? Showing up and being present for someone when I'm over here feeling like like wanting to scream, who can help me? I didn't know what to do. I was, don't get me wrong, very close to my family, very close to certain friends and everything, but I was embarrassed. And so I sat with that for years. And I learned how to operate in two different spaces of Kim, the one that was feeling all the shame and brokenness and feeling unworthy and all the different words that come with that. And then showing up and smiling and loving and praying for people and doing all the things. And the hard part about all that is that I knew that I was two different people. I was Kim for the public and I was Kim for the private. And in adulthood, it started to show up. But from that time, from my college years to then, I found that it affected my relationships because I could never really show up as wholeness, as fully me, fully vulnerable, fully trusting, fully being present in a moment. I could not show up as that person because I got used to doing this, two different people. And what ended up happening with that, and I don't know if any of you've ever experienced that, when you start showing up at two different kind of things, or if you've ever experienced something similar, it can create legs. And all of a sudden, I'm not vulnerable. All of a sudden, I'm not trusting. All of a sudden, I'm not fully thriving in everything that God has called me to do. And when I tell you that I'm so glad that God did a work where I was able to heal from this and became whole, He taught me vulnerability, how to show up more trusting. And all of this has been a journey. I'm not saying this happened overnight, but when I recognized that, okay, God, I need to show up behind my brand, fully who I am, not worried about if my face is perfect, because I know I broke out a little bit, not worried about if I have the most eloquent of speech, not worried about if I wear the best clothing all the time. It was a journey that I really wanted to show up fully as I am. And I'm gonna tell you what the result of that was. And it took a couple of years. It really did. It took me a couple of years. And sometimes, honestly, there's moments where that old Kim wants to peek back up, not feeling vulnerable, not feeling trusted, not feeling this, that, and the other. And it's something I still have to work through. But I can definitely say that I'm whole. I can definitely say that I've been healed. I can definitely say that I show up fully as I am. I can definitely say that I have much more depth in my relationships because I'm fully me. I'm not putting on a mask. I'm not um, having everything that I had to go through before. And the reason why I wanted to share this is because so often when we're building and we're growing and we are scaling and we're pruning and all the different things that go into what we're doing, if you show up as half of yourself or representative of yourself, it shows up in how you present yourself, because people really can feel that something's off. She doesn't feel this, she feels that. It really and truly can affect how you show up in the world. There's something to be said, and it feels absolutely amazing when you know when you show up, you're showing up fully as you, fully 1000% as you. And so I want to encourage you in your own way, in your own season, in your own time. If there's anything in you, and obviously you may not deal with what I dealt with. You may not have feelings of unworthiness or feeling like you want to protect yourself now, because I definitely had that for a long time. Wall up, instant protection, because I didn't want no one to hurt me again. You may not have had those type of things, but if there's anything in you that you know that, man, I really need to deal with this, whatever this is, whatever this is, I want to encourage you to consider in your season, in your time, in your way, to face the thing that you need to face. Uproot it, Pull the roots so that it doesn't replant itself. Pull the roots so that you can really and truly be done with whatever that thing is. Forgive it, forgive them, forgive yourself. Maybe it's something that you have to remove from your life. Maybe it's something that you have to face head on and say, okay, it's time for me to face this and face what this has been doing to me, or face this is the cause and effect that it's had in my life. Whatever that may be, I just want to encourage you today to face it, because I don't know about you. I always want to show up as Kim. When you meet me, I want you to know that you're getting the full realness of me. I want you to know that when we interact, you're getting all of me. And what I mean by that, it probably sounds like a John Legend song, right? But what I mean by that is that you're getting who I am, 100%, and not my representative. Okay. And so if you've ever gone through something like this, where maybe you just had to really come face to face with something that you have been challenged with, if there's any encouragement, anything that maybe you've done, any resources that you use, I would love for you to share it in the comments below, because there may be someone listening today says, you know what, I really know I need to confront this over here. I really need to address this situation here, because I don't know about you, but I want every single thing that God has for me. And I want it for me, 100% me, not for versions of me, not who pretending to be, not any of that, which grateful been healed from that. But I want everything. And I want to be able to run and grow and challenge myself in a way that feels good. And when results come, like we just had a conference, it feels so good and so full, seeing people blessed and the conversations and the laughter and all of that. And there was a time, maybe about, 10, 12 years ago, I could be in that same room and smile, and my smile wasn't real. Or hug and feel the embrace, but couldn't feel the embrace, if that makes sense. And now I can feel all of the love. I can feel the laughter. It feels good to me. And this Kim feels so much better than Kim well over a decade ago that was still needing to be healed. And so I just wanted to encourage you all today. Whatever needs to be addressed, I challenge you to address it so that you can fully show up in a way that makes you feel complete. And then it'll also translate in how you show up in your interactions with people, in your marketing, in your business, in your personal life, with your kids, with your spouse. It just shows up so much more when you come from a place that you're working through the broken pieces and asking God, or you're working through it yourself to really get to a place of true healing. It's a good place to be. So would love any insights, thoughts. I know this was a very different Monday morning brew, and I didn't want to start off heavy. It's nothing like that. So I hope you know that. But I did want to share this because I do believe that honesty is really important. And some of our journeys is great, and some of it's very hard. And for me, that was a hard one to walk through. And I'm grateful that I walked through it, because it brought me to a place where I know I can show up fully as myself. So I look forward to hearing your comments. I look forward to even continuing to learn from you all. I love the things that you guys share. And I would love to encourage you to invite other women to be a part of our Monday Morning Brews. My constant prayer and hope is that these are helpful, encouraging, and inspiring in some capacity to you. So I can't wait to see your comments, and I look forward to talking to you all again next week.